we've been discussing the expose that Fred Amata did concerning his wife and the wedding. He's held on to the stories for so long. He mentioned the fact that he was hoping for a reconciliation for the past 20 years when since they've been apart. However, what they call that stuff that break the camel's back? The
straw.
Last straw. The straw that broke the camel's back that led to this was the fact that the wedding took place in London. He was in London. He didn't know the date. He saw online that his daughter had gotten married and that his ex-wife walked his daughter down the aisle. And so he now said, no, I'm not taking this anymore. He tried to tell us everything that happened, how he made, according to him, how he made Agatha Amata who she is. Said he was the one that came up with the idea of Inside Out. And Inside Out has been what funded Agatha Amata's life. That he used his resources, his ability, his connection within the Nollywood industry, brought in actors, brought in producers, put in evidence, calling the names of all the people that he brought in together. It was his brainchild to help her because she said she wanted to do this. And he said, I'll make it happen for you. And it became a huge success that even when they were going to divorce, the agreement was, because this is what is bringing in the money, manage it and use the money to take care of the children. And right now, he feels the money got into his head. He does not acknowledge his own contribution to the successes that she's now enjoyed off the back of Inside Out. And to rub salt on the injury, decided to embarrass him in such a way by carrying out a wedding ceremony and walking his daughter down the aisle. So let's talk about business. Aside from Fred and this Agatha, I've had someone that they open supermarkets for the wife, and the supermarket blew. As in, the supermarket blew, and the man's business went down, and the marriage went out, and the man is always pointing that this supermarket, I was the one that opened the business for her, and like, when my business went down, she moved on with her life because she has money and did not acknowledge the fact that I was part of the reason she has something to work on. So how do we resolve things like this?
Yeah, so first of all, I always tell people that the reason why a high percentage of SMEs don't...
Please, let me take this phone call. We have a caller from Germany. I'll come back to you. Welcome to the show. Good morning. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Apologies. Please call back. We'll take your call immediately.
Yes, I always tell people that the reason why most SMEs don't work out, right, is because, like, especially like when husbands open businesses for their wives, is because they don't treat it as a business. They don't treat it as like a serious something or like a business. Because if you're opening a business for somebody, if you're putting in funds, you have to treat it, it has to have structure. There should be paperwork. There should be MOUs and agreements signed, contracts signed.
As your legal part speaking.
But we should say, the reason why I always step up that, I don't know, people always feel like that you have to come to a lawyer when there's a problem. But like, I'm a legal and business advisor. We see the future. We tell you possibilities, things that might go wrong, they might, or they might not. You know, but that's a possibility. And so you have to put checks in places, right, to protect those things. We might not get divorced, but then we're starting a business. There's money involved. Where there's a contract here so that there can be accountability. So you know that we put structures in place so that we can build this business. So we take it serious and know that it's not just house matter. Because that's why so many businesses don't fail, because the wives are not, your husband opened business for you, the business is running for 5 years or 10 years. In that 5-10 years, he's still paying shop rent every year, he's still paying your staff and everything. Then what exactly are you doing? Are you in business? So things like that happen, right? And then the man keeps putting in so much. And when something happens and he feels that he should get gratitude from it, of course he should. But then where's the paperwork? So when you go to court for divorce and divorce proceedings and stuff, if you don't have paperwork, it's word of mouth. So you can't, you know, have... so Fred Amata that is saying that when during the court divorce proceedings, that they decided as the family that if this is what is bringing money, that let's use that to support the family. Where's the paperwork? If there's a paperwork where we say, this is a family business, you're running it, but I put funds into it, and I did X and X amount of work, and X amount of funds, PR and everything, to push it, then, you know, there's a paperwork. Okay, and then I don't want to be taking royalties. I want everything to be used to train the children. So even the children can see that, even though daddy is not showing up, daddy is not bringing money, but he has put certain things in place that is taking care of us. So the children, so no matter what the mother is telling them, the children are not bitter.
Henry, Nyma, let me take this call. Henry has called from Egbeda, then I'll come to you. Henry, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning. Like I said, I want to react to the friend and the extra and the water issue. First of all, let's get some definitions right. Fatherhood is not the same as sponsorship of sperm. Fred Amaka, as far as I'm concerned, I read that story very well. His position in that girl's life is like a sperm donor. With every due respect. For that girl to have brought the fiancé to him, which I saw, that was like the father's blessing, that should be enough. Now, there is another caveat here. I expected Fred to make some effort. During that time, the girl brought the fiancé for, kind of maybe father's blessing. To, go some extra miles to heal the girl. People think that forgiveness is something you just pick up. It's like a wound that has to heal. Everybody does not heal to the same degree. Are you getting me? Even if you want her to behave like a Christian, what effort did Fred make to raise her as a Christian? Perhaps you don't have the Holy Spirit that will help her to forgive that one. No, so let's also understand that life has all cycles. When you abandon a girl as a father, another father figure takes over, and that father figure becomes a new father. And the moment that father figure takes over, you may not have that entitlement again that you want to eat your cake and have it. The person is this. He is the one supposed to be wedding. To come and do what? To come and gloat. Does she know what the girl went through? Does she know what the presence of him, Fred Amaka, in that wedding could resonate? You made this object of ridicule by bringing his own person to go and marry her when your mother was still there. And this woman held on. I know that woman. I've done some business with that radio station, what do you call it? She's a very nice woman. So Fred should just enjoy the consequence of his action. Listen, let me explain something. Cause and effect are the of that universe balance. If people keep abusing that word forgiveness, because what men do is, let's just abandon her for very true, they don't come back for their father. They do it unconsciously. Yes. And if we keep allowing that to time for the sake of prosperity, there will be deterrence. Let the unfolding of the yellow leaves be the one with the green ones. And you can't be there for and wait for after the yellow one look with that's an annoying investment mentality. Let them have some slack for her to bring the most.
Thank you so much, Henry.
That is enough. It's just a ceremonial event. If I don't.
Thank you so much, Henry, for your contribution. This is the first guy that is supporting Agatha on the conversation of the fact that there are consequences. But Nyma,
okay, so I wanted to respond to Amaka that even the court presumes certain relationships would make certain business transactions undocumented. And one of them is marriage. It features too much. You're doing things in love. When if you check, let me not even exaggerate, I would say carefully 50%. But if I were to say my opinion, I would say 70% of men who establish business for their wives did not expect it to grow. It's usually from a place of, we'll just stay home and be busy, be managing shop. The moment they see that business is growing, so you can build something. This woman can even do something with this. So they don't usually expect it for businesses. So the woman herself is the one showing her skill. I have, as a young lawyer, when I was interning at a law firm, I was shocked to see a man come into our law firm, I always say it here, pick up the affidavit with which he was doing his petition for divorce and go and publish it in a cell newspaper, one of these celebrity gists, because the woman was commissioner. He says, I made her, I will bring her down, I will make her. Because he did not expect that she will grow. He did not expect intellect in her head. See, for him, his beauty with blonde, no brain. He didn't expect anything. And the woman, every time she's given the opportunity, she goes there, she'll go and excel. He would drag her down. He made sure, in fact, I saw the governor of that state reshuffle cabinet, remove her immediately after we took, and we're still doing the divorce. So I've seen enough for this, for one side, but I've also seen women who even at the grave of their husband, they are still matching it and telling the children, if it's allowed on national TV, make NBC not write us. That they will not forgive him, even till the next life. you know, and the children are inheriting the bitterness and saying, oh, it was such a... But if you check, there was a time it was not that and they were loving. You can hold back your anger and pass that love. I've seen that. I've seen women who, you know, some things that, you know, we in Aochi, when we do burials, there are certain customs they do to ensure that you don't pass the traumas of your marriage to your children. They will be putting that burden on women. And it's a lot. I always say why we win. But when I see the role women can play, you know, I just mentioned it now that the love of a mother and a child is a need.
Yes.
It's a need. The child sees only you. He cannot see your flaws, because you're all and absolute. You show up at school, you show up. My husband funds the family. At least if I was
now you that they see.
But now my children,
let me take.
Now my children know. Imagine me tell them that this your daddy. He has never done.
They will
I will share one story.
Let me take Lizzie has called in from Abuja. Lizzie, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
There are two things here. I want to take up. The first one is the issue of forgiveness.
Yeah.
Where there is this feeling that the last caller talked about people are being forgiven, and also the issue of how I think this forgiveness is overflowed and overrated. For instance, somebody is a serial offender. Then you now say, and the person is full of drama, and it has been established. From experience that is how the person acts. I mean, are you supposed to just drop your guard and just become a victim of people's behavior or irresponsibility? So that's the question that we all have to. People have to protect themselves. Now, in this kind of matter of drama, any responsible person that knows his daughter is at stake, why is he taking this matter to social media? And imagine how serious we are. I mean, you have a business, you made her, you brought her up, you brought her to the limelight, and then you now come to social media to write a few people of how you brought somebody to the limelight. So this is the kind of drama. This happens to social media. Imagine that person appearing and being given a microphone to do anything in the public space. So, I mean, give her the credit. It looks like she knows what this man can do. I mean, you have a grievance. You don't come and write it on social media. So at this point now, you are not just dragging them. You are dragging the daughter into it. So these are my issues. Should this kind of person be given the chance to be in public with people? Because it doesn't have it's not responsible for and the person.
Thank you so much, Lizzie. I I hear Lizzie, and Lizzie is saying that because he shouldn't have brought it to social media and all of that.
I think it was the last resort.
I
think it was the last resort.
Nyma, you know why I supported? I said I was supporting her first. It was because I felt that Fred was present in the wedding of their son last year.
Yeah, that's what they said.
And he is not present in the wedding of the daughter. If she could allow, if she permitted him to be there last year, it might not be her. It might not be that Agatha is the reason he is not in that particular wedding. And the daughter could have said, I'm going to introduce my children, my husband to my father, but I want my events to be for my immediate people that I have a relationship with. So that, but you know, there are two sides. We've not heard her side. She hasn't said anything. Exactly. And she's usually for a media person, she can easily keep quiet completely about this and never respond to it because it's not our business. The reason we're discussing it is to draw lessons from
the Doyles. Yeah. When Ireti Doyle separated from her husband, we had taken the story on blogs, and she was on the show. I was the one that asked her that question. She just muted on me. She didn't say anything. Fast forward, Patrick Doyle said that he was responsible for the things that happened in that marriage. YK, I'm sorry to share that example also, had a broken marriage. But she mentioned how difficult it was for her initially to let go and allow the father play a role in the life of her daughter. But her lawyer that she was using to do the part, what they called her, that this girl is not a chattel. She's not a bench. She's a child, a human being. and forced her to see things differently. And so she ensured her husband and her ex-husband and her child had a relationship. Till the day he died, we were on the show when that accident happened. YK held the place of her daughter in the hospital by his side till she came into the country. And she played a role at his burial. Letting go of whatever has happened, even though it might not be easy. When she talks about all the things that she faced, sometimes you see emotions.
Yeah.
But she played the role, held that position. Those are the examples I want to see in women. I'm not saying that marrying men. There are certain things that my husband has done in my marriage that whenever I think of it, I'll be like, did I forgive this guy? Am I sure? Because because at the time that they did it, it's not. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying that there are certain rules that you now separate from that new rule.
I'm going to beg you. I'll come to you. Don't worry. Then Ramatu, Vivian has called in from Ajegule. Vivian, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
What just happened is a private affair, actually. But because the people involved are public figures,
Exactly.
and the public is very well, aware of this. This is setting a very wrong precedent for families. It's not a good precedent at all. I know if marriage is something that should be done, then it should be done the way it should be done, which is the father gives out the daughter. No matter what has happened, it's none of our business anyway. There should be orderliness.
Yeah.
And the foundation should be right. If the lady feels the man has done something unpardonable, then I don't think she should be bearing his surname. At least she's still bearing Amata. Her name is still, I can't remember her name.
Yes.
But she's still bearing she's still bearing the husband's name. So if he has done something so bad that cannot be forgiven, then that name should be off. Then I blame the two of them, the daughter and the mother. I know as a woman, she's hot, but she could advise the daughter to do better. And the daughter is not a child. She should have done better.
Yes.
At least the man has contributed one or two things in their life that, she should have just done things in the way it should be done. Thank you very much. Nyma, God bless you. Bye-bye.
Only Nyma that God is blessing.
Nyma, God is blessing all of us. Don't worry. We have received the blessing.
Send the blessing. So what I wanted to say is this, right? Nyma, what you need to understand is that we're all different. People have different levels of grace. People forgive differently, right? Like, I'm a very friendly person. I invest so much in my relationship with people, right? And I feel like I give so much of myself. So if someone hurts me by mistake, everybody does mistakes. It's easy. I'm so easy to forgive. In fact, I even make excuses for people. When someone does something for me, I sit down and I ask myself, why this person do this, do that? I make excuses. Or did I contribute to it? But when someone is intentional, consistently doing something scripted, schemed to hurt you over and over again, then that's a different ballgame. So you cannot beat me and tell me how to cry or how long to cry or in what form to cry or because something else suits you. But remember, there's something I always say on this show. I say it all the time. I said most of our mothers in this country, in Africa, in Nigeria, majority of our mothers, both in marriage and those that are divorced, they are angry women. That's the reality nobody's talking about. They need to open a therapy session, free classes for mothers of Nigeria. They are angry. I'm not joking. They are angry.
Well, both sides, though. Both sides.
And bitter women. Do you understand? Because, being Nigerian men, African men have always been given this upper hand and given this free will and free will and power and a lot has happened. And anybody that is given so much power, the chances of them, if you are not disciplined, abusing that power is a lot. And so many men of these Nigerian men, they've abused that power. And then you keep hurting and bruising and bruising. So many promises that were made, they were shattered. It's not, if, I always tell people that if the case is reversed where the men are the ones this thing has been done to, let's see how do they take it? If they do them smart, they'll come and report. They'll do them smart, they'll come and shout. But women have been taking this thing over and over again. But that still does not make it right. Like I said, I'm not putting any burden on on Agatha Amata. I'm putting the body on the child that is an adult. It's her day, it's her wedding, it's her marriage. She's the one planning wedding. She's the one that took her, the girl to go and see the father. She's the one, do you understand? That in the picture, they are laughing, she's leaning on the father's shoulder, and that means that there's love, they have a relationship. The onus is on her to tell her father, this is the date, or you're not doing something. The onus is not on the woman at all, because we've seen that Fred Amata attended the child's wedding last year.
In the first
that means
one.
the woman does not have a problem. So the onus is wholly and solely on the daughter and the man having a relationship with his child.
So I'll take Hassan from Lekki, then come to you, Ramatu. Welcome to the show, Mr. Hassan.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Please, you see, this marriage scheme transcends husband and wife. It's between a family and another family, with the members of the public serving as witnesses. So it's not a matter of, it's not a private thing. And please, about this matter, the lady lawyer, I can see that we have two lawyers there, Nyma and the other person.
Amaka.
Marriage is not about law. Marriage is about understanding. It's about compromise. So it's about patience. And the way we are looking at it, please, let us melt down. You say women are angry. Men are much more angry than women in that marriage. Because men are on the strength path. Men don't complain. It's like a failure for a man to come and be lamenting about his wife victimizing. So forget about that one. Please let us provide a solution for a better society so that we can live well. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you, Ramatu.
Okay, so I'm going to put myself in her shoes, for example, right? As the mother of the child, I know how powerful a mother is. And I know how much I can convince my child to do some things.
If it's what I want.
She knows that the father has to be the one to do the walking down the aisle. I will urge my daughter, I will talk to my daughter to go get her father and tell him the date and for him to come for the wedding. That's one. In marriage, two people come together. I always tell myself that the man I'm married to, I'm going to take everything because he's not perfect. There are good sides and there are bad sides of him. I am ready to take everything. There are periods when things are not going to go the way they're supposed to go. I don't know, we enter marriage expecting that the person will just be perfect all through and everything. No, it's not. There are times that the person will show some little mistakes and sometimes some things will happen. In fact, they will be evolving at every point. You'll be seeing some new things, some new habits come up. And that's why I always tell people will say, before you get married, you know all these things. No, there are some things that starts happening, some new behaviors that happen while you are in the marriage. So if all these things start happening, how do you handle them? How do you resolve before it even finally gets to a divorce? Like, I enjoy the relationship with my dad. And I'm not going to, I always tell myself that I'll make sure my children have that kind of relationship with their dad, regardless of whatever it is that is going on between me and the dad.
You don't feed them.
Yes. So that relationship is very, very important.
I say make
so we can see it here that there's a little bit
Let
of...
us laugh after the break.
There's a little bit of issue between the father and the daughter. There's a little bit, which I don't think it's... But the mother, it's on the mother that the mother is supposed to make sure that didn't happen.
So that we don't have generational breed between them.